If you do not like your own children, no one else is going to. Nasty kids will be ignored by other children. Other adults, like teachers, will also treat them differently. Hi, my name is Teacher Kean from Teaching Worthy. I'm a licensed headmaster with the Ministry of Education and a certified HRDF trainer. My job is to help parents become better parents. Now, as a parenting and teaching expert, I've seen many parents get confused and frustrated because they're getting conflicting opinions as to what their roles as parents really are. Now, let me give you an example. Should your children be brought up like the Germans to be independent, strong, and hardworking? Or should they be brought up like the Scandinavians, happy and carefree? Now, which is better? Your friends, colleagues, family, and social media will each try to influence you. Everyone will have a different opinion. Well, parents certainly have multiple roles, but I want to talk to you about what I regard as the most important role. But first, story time. Now, when I was teaching in an international school, I had a 9-year-old student who was quite the little monster. He would disrupt the class, bully his classmates, and even steal. Eventually, the other students learned how to deal with him. They ignored him and left him alone. Now, can you guess what his mother did? His mother complained to the principal of the school saying that the other kids were bullying her poor child. She also demanded apology letters from the parents of the other kids. That mother was definitely raising a kid to become the emperor of the universe. In her eyes, her kid could do no wrong. Now, here's the ironic part though. A few months after that, in a shopping mall, I saw that same student beating his poor mother in public. It was painfully obvious that even the mother disliked her own child. If his own mother can't stand him, can you imagine what other children and adults feel about him? So, here's what I think is our most important role as parents. We have to teach our children how to behave so other people will actually want to interact with them. In other words, we have to teach them how to be socially desirable. A lot of the time, this means we have to bite the bullet and to discipline or to punish our children when they go overboard. Now, why do I regard this role as so much more important over all the other roles? 2 reasons. Now, firstly, if we do not discipline our kids, their negative behavior is definitely going to annoy us. And after a while, this feeling of annoyance is going to develop into resentment. What this means is that we will secretly start to dislike our own children. And let me tell you, it's impossible to be a good parent when you are annoyed at your child. You will start to snap at them, you will start to overreact, and you listen to them less. Now, secondly, if you do not like your own children, no one else is going to. Nasty kids will be ignored by other children. Other adults, like teachers, will also treat them differently. As adults, we all try to avoid interacting with nasty kids simply because it is unnecessary drama. And as you can see, it is a vicious cycle. Nasty kids don't practice enough to deal with other kids and authority figures. Now, what happens when this kid grows up and goes to work? He's going to have a hard time. So, why are some parents so afraid to discipline their children? It's because we want to be friends with our children. Also, we are constantly judged by other people whether the way we discipline our children is wrong. But here's the thing, if we don't discipline our children, this harsh and uncaring world will certainly do it for us. If we don't do the dirty work, someone bigger and nastier will do it for us. But they will be much dirtier doing it. As parents, we also have to give our children the confidence to experiment and grow. This means that we have to be consistent in our punishment and encouragements. When we are consistent, our kids learn to trust us. Now, our kids need to be confident that we will correct or discipline them when they go overboard. They also need us to be their biggest fans when they try something new and fail. We need to be there to say, I know this hurts very bad, but you are strong enough to get through this. Now, it's a bit sad, but the world we live in is full of challenges and heartbreak. It's not correct for us to protect our children forever and to fight their battles for them. At some point, we have to teach them the social tools and skills necessary so that they can become good, productive, and likable members of society. So please, punish your children when you need to. Teach them that it is wrong to hurt others and that they have to put in effort to be polite and strong. Because if you don't, someone nasty is going to punish them for you in a way you certainly will not like. Now, if you need more practical steps or if you require specific advice, please do not hesitate to contact us at www.teachingworthy.com. Now, thank you, and please remember to share these lessons which are worth sharing.
All right.
Hello. Good evening. Good morning. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mamaliez. Welcome to Mamaliez behind closed door stories. We're sharing of inspiring stories with unconditional love and respect. And today we have a very, very special guest who is also a student with Nina, who is my mentor, who's going to be last day today.
Stop being dramatic. I think you can totally hold the show, and next week is going to be an amazing episode. So I look forward to seeing you grow, and helming the show by yourself, Liz.
Yeah, I know. I mean, thank you so much. Anyway, before we call the next our next guest here, but I just want to say, deep from my heart, you really launched me to have my own host live show. Yeah, but I didn't think I'd ever do this, but I actually did it, and thanks to you. Thank you for your
Well done.
guidance.
I actually, I have to say she did all the work herself. I was just there making sure everything's okay and just making sure she sets up. And the next thing I have to do, which I think Teacher Kean will probably agree, that you gotta let go and just throw them in the deep end so that they learn. So this is what I'm doing. So it might seem like I'm ditching you, but I'm actually, it's about you taking charge and stuff like that. So I know you're gonna do great. So go for it.
Thank you, Nina. And that's awesome. I mean, to have you here. And I think, inshallah, I could do it. I will do it.
Totally, hands down. So I'm looking forward to next week, and it's going to be an amazing speaker as well. But before that, maybe you want to introduce the guest.
Okay, so we have today is Teacher Kean. He is a parenting and teachers trainer. He helps hundreds of parents to and educators to bring up a healthier, happier, and successful children. He's a father of two lovely boys. He's a licensed headmaster and a HRDF accredited trainer. Now, this guy, why we have him today? Because he has helped so many people, so many people in many ways. And the thing is how he ended up being a parent teacher. When he started off being a lawyer, he studied law, and then suddenly after some time he became investment banker, and then after successfully being investment banker, finally he went through his own life journey, and finally he decided, okay, I want to be uh, uh, um, he finally realized what is his life purpose. His life purpose is to help all the parents and teachers to be better parents and better teachers. So without any further ado, please welcome Teacher Kean.
Woohoo! Teacher Kean in the house. That was neat. You get my seal of approval.
Oh no, Nina, you started the session with the lamest joke already. How are we ever gonna top that for the rest of the session?
Because it's lame and thought one. Okay. So yeah.
So it's thank you so much, Teacher Kean, for coming around and joining us tonight. Actually, you were supposed to be on my show about 3 weeks ago, and you you got sick and you couldn't make it, and I had the emergency and last minute, which was I think it was there is a reason why it happened. To have intervened Ain Husniza, and after that, the week after that, you came in to be part of the panelists with Dr. Praveen, and that was another amazing session too. And you thought you're not gonna be interviewed again, right? I said, hey,
Yes.
now Teacher Ken, you are coming back. We have to hear your story.
Yeah,
Everybody,
exactly.
yeah, because you have great followers and people look up to you. You have helped a lot of parents and teachers, and I'm sure everyone wants to know who is really the guy behind Teacher Ken.
I
Ah,
see.
so maybe you can just summarize first to introduce yourself, Teacher Ken.
Oh, by the way, thank you very much, Liz. Thank you very much, Nina, for the glowing introduction and for the very warm welcome. I'm really feeling the energy today. I know this is going to be a great, great session. Thank you, Liz, for the work you do. And I think that I absolutely agree with you. Everything happens for a reason, right? I remember the week I fell sick. Then that was when you managed to interview Adik Ain and Inchik Saifu. And then the
Yeah,
next week we had a very good follow up, isn't it, with a great panel. And I think that no one really wanted to go. I remember that after the show, everyone was still in the room talking, right? It
yeah,
was a very deep conversation. I loved it, honestly. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So thank you so much for the work that both of you do. This is a great show. Okay, a bit about myself. So
yeah.
I'm a father of two children. This is the first thing which
Mm,
people often ask me. They're like, "Hey, you're a parenting trainer. Do you have kids of your own or not?" And I say, "Yes,
mm.
my kids are quite old already. I have a 10-year-old kid and a 6-year-old kid. So
I'm sorry, but
in
10 and 6 is considered old, is it?
oh, I mean, no lah, not old lah, but yeah, they're bigger than what most people
I
would imagine
see.
my kids to be. So when I think of myself first, that's actually the primary role in my life. I think of myself as a father first.
Mm,
Then what else do I do? I teach parents how to
mm,
become happier parents and
mm,
how to go and develop meaningful and more impactful relationships with their children. And I
mm,
try to ensure that these relationships last until the end of the lifetime. Now, that sounds very vague. What does helping parents develop stronger relationships with their children mean, right? It's very vague. Okay, essentially, okay, in my teaching experience, in my teaching career, I realized that the words we use with our students and our children, wah, banyak masalah, guys. Okay, a lot of the things we say to our kids very problematic, hurts the relationship, and really has a lot of long-term damage. So now, knowing the problem is one thing, kan? Okay. So what do we do about it? So then, I go and give them the correct words to go and use, so that the
mm.
children can grow up happier, healthier, more successful in terms of academics, character, attitude, most importantly nowadays, discipline and also self-love. So I give them the correct words. I try to go and replace the old traditional ways our parents have been teaching us, a lot of harmful words, replace them with better words nowadays. And a large part of what I do is also going into schools to go and teach all the teachers in the schools the same thing, essentially, but for
Ah,
classroom management.
awesome.
Wow,
Mm.
it's
So
amazing.
before we ask further question, I just want to say hello to those who are listening and tuning in. Just let me know where you're tuning in from, whether you're a parent or maybe a teacher. And I just want to have a shout out to this is my sister, Nadia. Nadia Christina is also a teacher. She's an international teacher. So yeah, so she's here today to support another teacher today. And then we have also parent, and we have also fellow classmates. Tila, thank you, Tila, for joining us. And then we have my mother, my evermore, my pom pom girl, my cheerleader, who's always
Yeah,
been
she's
supporting of
always
me.
in. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
watching every single week. Awesome parent.
yeah, yeah. So, Mama, thank you so much for being my loyal supporter. At least kalau tak ramai datang pun, at least my mother is here lah to listen. At least something kind better than nothing. So okay, anyway, Teacher Ken, maybe you like let's go back to your early childhood. How was it like? Uh, your childhood. I mean, how's your parents like? How was your mom or your dad like? What are the things they teach you that you carry forward today that you learned from them?
And your
Okay.
childhood, basically, right? Hi, Angela.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
hi, Angela. All right. So, actually, looking back, I was a very rebellious child. Yeah, yeah, especially in my teenage years. I couldn't really understand why my parents are doing the things they did, and looking back now, it's very clear to me what happened. Actually, I was a very serious kid.
Oh, oh,
There's a
that's
picture of
nice.
me and my mother. This is my
Ah,
first memory, guys. Well, I want to talk about this. This is my
okay,
first
okay.
memory. The
Ah,
very first thing I remember, right, when about coming into this world, is a taste of Coca-Cola. Really?
huh?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. So my mother, this is us in Zoo Nagara. That's
Ah,
remember the KFC train? Yeah.
yes,
So
yes,
that
yes.
is the KFC in Zoo Nagara, and my earliest childhood, my earliest memory ever is me drinking Coca-Cola with my mother here. It was this photo. So yeah, this photo is very
Oh,
significant, very special for me. Yep.
ah,
So now,
and
yeah,
then this one?
Okay, so this is a picture of me. I'm on the right side, as you can imagine. In the middle is my dad. On the left
Ah,
side is my grandfather. Okay,
ah,
where are we? We are in Thailand. This is in Phetchabun. All right. So now something which most people don't know. I am part Thai. My grandfather,
oh,
uh, the gentleman on the leftmost, he is half Thai. He is half
Mm.
oh.
Thai. So my
Balik
dad will be
kampung
one.
lah.
Same
Yes,
gang with
correct.
Aliza. Same gang with Aliza Kim.
Yes, correct. Aliza is also part Thai. Yes,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
And this,
Okay.
how about this
And
one? You have, are you
who's
This
the
this?
eldest?
Who are these?
this would be me on the left side. My
Mm-hmm.
sisters, the three of them. The two in the middle, those are my younger sisters. They are twins.
Oh, wow.
They
Oh,
are unidentical twins. Unidentical twins.
Okay.
oh, so are you the eldest?
I am the eldest in my family. Yes, so there are four of us, four siblings.
Oh, okay. So tell me, how is it being the eldest son, eldest family? And yeah, you were saying that you were rebellious in your teenage years, and but before your teenage years, how was it like childhood?
When I was a kid, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, now looking back, I can see that my parents really give me a lot of rope, a lot of space, because I was the oldest kid, man. They really let me get away with a lot of things I wouldn't let my own kids get away with, because
Right.
I'm the oldest, and back then they also not very sure, I was their first kid after all, so still experimenting, And yeah, it was not easy because my parents grew up very poor. My dad was actually a self-made man. He grew up very poor, and he had to really fight his way. Okay, do you guys remember this huge conglomerate called Renong in Malaysia?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Okay, UEM plus
Yes.
Metromac, all these
Yes.
were
Yeah.
part of the Roman group, and
Yeah.
he was an executive. He became one of the managing directors of some of the subsidiaries in Renong, all from zero. Yeah. So growing up, he was very stressed all the time, but we didn't know that actually. Now when we look back, then we can see that, oh my goodness, he really went through a lot to make sure that we had food to eat and all of this. Yeah. So my
Right.
dad is a very, very, very strong man. He's an extremely strong man. Yep.
Uh, was
Yep.
he strict with you, or was he like how? What kind of relationship do you have with him?
Oh no, he was a very sweet man. He's not strict. Okay, he has a very sharp wit. He has a very strong sense of humor. But no, he wasn't strict with us. I didn't grow up to be very close with him because I was the argumentative type. And I was very stubborn. Yeah, I was very stubborn and very serious. I remember even as a kid, right, I'm already very stubborn and very serious. And sometimes we have disagreements, and it isn't easy. It isn't easy to reconcile those differences. So not particularly close with my dad nor my mom actually. Yeah, growing up.
Oh,
Nowadays, much
oh,
better. Nowadays, much much better. Very close to my mother
oh,
and dad nowadays. Yep.
What was
oh,
your
I see.
mom like growing up?
My mom was also quite strict. She was very caring, very loving, but also very strict. And it is not easy to go and juggle four kids, especially when the youngest two are at the same
Mm.
age, lah, as you can
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah. Mm.
So what are the things that you learn from your parents? I mean, what on based on your experience, then what did you learn from that?
Well, I learned a lot from my parents actually. From my dad, I learned the need to be strong, right? The need to be strong, the need to persevere. My dad is very good because he never gives up. He's very charismatic. He can go out, and just by observing him and learning from him, I learned how to mingle with crowds, how to make everyone feel good, how to go and uplift people
Ah,
around me. Now that is something which I really learned from my dad. Now my mom is extremely wise. Okay, my mom is really really wise. She
mm,
is very late, especially later on when she
mm,
started studying, right? She went back to study religion and pursue her own spirituality. I
mm.
realized that whenever I have any question about the universe or why are people like this, she has a really, really good answer for me. If you
Mm.
guys feel that sometimes I write something insightful or profound on LinkedIn, right? Most likely it came from her. Yeah, she's really, really very, very wise. She's really
Oh,
wise, yeah.
so
So
you get the
growing up,
best
you had that from your mom, a
stuff.
very wise mom growing up.
I mean, when she was younger, right? She didn't have a lot of the wisdom and the knowledge she has now. But yeah, nowadays she's really, really wise. Yeah,
Ah, that's
absolutely. Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. So how do you from there, how did you think of learning and studying law?
Okay, so you see, here's the problem. Okay, and this is something which we can go and spend maybe 2-3 minutes talking about. Okay, guys, if you're parents, right? Okay, please invest time. Please invest time to help your children find their goals. Right? Don't really leave it to them by themselves. Otherwise, you end up
What
like me.
happened?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
parents out there right now listening, can you please share? Maybe you can share. Did you somehow influence your kids what to study in because my mom did.
Oh, my
She
mom did. I think we are the product of kids from the 80s and 90s where the parents tell you what to study.
Yeah, my
No,
my mom my mom asked me to take law. You say, she brought me to all the lawyers and meet all her lawyer friends to convince me to take law. Yeah, so I
What?
studied. Yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
then, the JPA, and I did a scholarship, and she taught me because you had to do choice one, choice two, choice three, right? So you can do choice one law and in UK, choice two Australia with another subject business or what, and choice three is USA. She asked me to write choice one law, choice two law, choice three law. So during the interview, the person who interviewed me, I see there's three people. I still remember this, and they're asking me, I see that you put choices here because usually you only get the second choice or third choice. You never get your first choice, When they for JPA, they will give only second, third choice. And they say, I see that you put here choice one law, choice two law, choice three law. So why you do this? You know, so because I want to do law and you have no other choice to give me that.
I think there's a very confident power play there. Wow.
Yeah, that's the one I want. So that's why I go. But funny thing is, I graduated and never became a lawyer. You know,
Yeah.
just pandai cakap only lah.
Hey, very good. Okay, because of your Pandai Chakap, that's why today you're helping a lot of people and doing such good work. Everything happens for a reason. But for me,
Yeah.
it was the
Ah,
So
no
what
for me it
worries.
happened
was the
in your
opposite.
case, Teacher Ken?
Ah,
My okay, so now when I was young, I realized that I have a talent to write and speak in English.
mm,
Then I didn't really do any research, and my parents would let me have a free reign. So I thought that okay lah, what can I do with my English, with my master in English? Jadi
mm,
lawyer lah, logic kan. Then
mm.
come out jadi lawyer, practice for a while, then realize that oh my goodness, law is very. Hey, no offense to any lawyers here, okay? You're all my brethren. Okay, now law to me was very restrictive. Yep,
Dang,
that's me
dang,
and my
dang.
grandfather. My grandfather, remember the half Thai gentleman? Yep. So
Mm-hmm.
this was during my call to the bar. I think that
Mm,
this was cannot remember how many years ago already. My goodness.
mm.
Mm.
So and then you
Then
after graduating, you straight away practice law or what? After
yes,
you
I
take the
practiced. I took the bar after
uh,
graduating in the UK.
huh?
right? So I'm a barrister as well. Then
Mm.
I came back to Malaysia and I did my what's it called, chambering in Zaid Ibrahim and Co. Wow, remember
Oh,
Zaid
wow. You were there. What
Ibrahim?
year was this?
Yes.
Yeah.
This must have been maybe 12 years ago. Yeah, 12 years ago.
So you
Wow.
might
Okay.
know. Then you might
Our
know
friend.
our friend.
Who is your friend?
My childhood friend.
The
Oh,
one
you
we
know
know.
Hanim Hamza?
Hamlin
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
she
Those
also
are the
knows Kak Noni. We're all
Ah,
friends.
okay, okay, all right.
Very
So we are
fun.
all
one.
connected. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
She was a bit, yeah, she was a bit my senior though. Yeah.
Mm,
yeah,
mm,
yeah,
mm, mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's still she's now the regional director of Zico Law already.
Wow.
How
That's
many
good to
years
Yeah.
were
hear.
you with Zico?
No, I was there. Okay, now this is very interesting. Okay,
Mm.
since my internship days are before I even graduated, every year I would go and intern at Zico. So I was already really determined to be a lawyer already. Actually.
Oh, very
Yeah. So actually,
Yes,
I was very.
lah. This is what happened when you grow up very fast, very serious kid.
That's why terlalu serious already didn't explore.
Okay,
That one.
then.
Mm.
and then
Then I started practicing in Zico, and maybe it was I had this very interesting master. Okay, so in chambering, right? they assign masters to you. All right. So
What
as a
is
chambering
masters
student,
for people who don't understand what that is?
oh, that would be someone like a mentor to go and make
Okay.
sure that to go and sponsor you. When you finally get called to the bar. All right, to go and vouch for you, like essentially.
yes.
So now this mentor, right, this master, right, okay, very interesting lady. She
Mm,
taught me a lot of what I know today. She also
mm.
taught me a lot of bad habits which I know today.
Huh?
And yeah,
What is
really.
the bad habit?
So, are you allowed
Uh-oh.
to mention who this master
Cannot
is?
already lah. I already go and tell you guys the firm name already. Yeah, too bad lah. If I didn't go and mention
Never
Zico,
mind.
then I can tell you more
Okay, I
Yeah.
want
stories.
to know what do you mean by bad habit?
Yeah, what do you mean by bad habits? We all want to know. Who wants to know about Teacher Kean's bad
Yeah.
habit? Let's find
Ayo,
out.
focus on the good habits lah. Come, let's make this
Okay,
educational.
Teacher Kean, nowadays,
Yeah, but
nowadays people know you as the good habit one lah. But before that, there had to
yeah,
be
we
bad
want,
habits. So let us
yeah, we
know what
want
it
to
is.
know. Yeah, what is it?
Okay, now let's make this educational lah. Okay.
Yes.
Now,
See, everybody, it's all coming in. Everybody wants to know.
Yeah. That's
all right. So now, um, I learned to do postmortems even before the problem was fixed. Now, this is something
That
that
is bad.
that is bad. Yeah. So that is something which I really, 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 really preach nowadays. Whether it's in parenting, whether it's in leaderships, because now and then I do go into corporates to go and teach managers and young leaders. Yeah. Whether it's parenting, whether it's teaching, whether it's coaching, whatever it is. Okay. I always tell people and parents, fix the mistake before you do the postmortem. Now I'll tell you this story, okay? And this story is very famous in
Okay.
the law firm.
all right.
Okay, now my master really liked me. She really, really, really liked me. So she gave me an entire portfolio, even when I was just 3 months old only. When I was a 3 months old baby lawyer, she gave me an entire portfolio. Now, I was in a department with maybe 20 clerks. All right. So you can imagine a fresh out of school young guy, all right, in charge of 4 or 5 clerks.
Oh,
Now,
oh.
yeah, I really didn't know what I was doing lah. Okay, and I had to really stay back late nights to go and ensure that everything was going according to plan because I'm so terrified every day. Not because of the people, but because I'm handling so many files as a freshie. I'm really, really terrified. So anyway, coming back to the story. Okay, so now there was one time one of my clerks did a clerical error, and as a result, there was a problem in one of the files. Yeah. So now, when my boss realized what happened, she immediately called me and all my clerks into her room. She had a room, right? Called all of us into the room, go and line us all up like this in one line,
like little ducks. I'm sorry, I had that vision.
Yeah, like a firing squad, like a firing squad. Okay. And okay, she said that, okay, there's a problem in this file. You guys stand here until you tell me whose fault is it. You guys stand here and tell me until you tell me whose fault it is. And obviously the poor clerk, I know which clerk it is out of the 4 of them, right? I know which one it is. I think 4 or 5 okay. And obviously I'm not going to say anything because let her stand up for herself first.
Ah.
But she didn't dare to because she was new. So right, okay, wow, my master became angry and angrier lah, become more and more angrier because we remain silent ma. So so then
It's like a scene from school with the headmistress, but go on.
yeah, it's absolutely. So now 1 hour later we're still in the room, and you know what she did? She ordered lunch to eat in front of us. So the four or five of us were just standing there watching her eat lunch. No one dared to say anything,
You guys standing, just standing.
Yeah, we were just standing.
Until you come clean who was the guilty one,
Whose
right?
fault is it? Yeah, absolutely. So she ate in front of us in her office, and this was such a funny memory, This is something I really remember for a long time.
And you
So in
guys
the end, I
didn't
said that,
help out each other. It's so good.
okay, the other clerks didn't know which one was it. Only I knew which one was it, you see.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
How do
Yeah.
you know? How do
Huh?
you know it was the club?
Yeah.
You knew lah.
I know which file. I know which clerk did which file. I recognize the file. So in the end, after she ate, she continued doing her work, now and then shouting at us, hey, you all still don't want to go and tell me who it is. And then 1 hour later, so 1 hour later, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, it's my fault, I did it. All right, so I just admitted it was me lah. So she pretended to scold me and asked us all to get out from her office lah, because she also tired already. She also wants to do work already. So this is the type of story which really shaped me today. My philosophy. Don't do the post-mortem. Not yet. Okay. Postmortem's very important, can do, okay? But not before you fix the mistake. Fix the bloody mistake first, because that is what you have to address now. Now, if you go to an office, right, certain companies, they have the culture of, hey, let's find out whose fault is it, witch hunt, but nothing really gets changed, Next month, there'll be the same problem. 3 months later, it's the same problem. It is probably because the owners of the company or the managers have a very post-mortem type of attitude without actually looking forward to go and see what is the next best step. Now, if you guys watch Frozen 2, did you guys watch Frozen 2 or not?
Mr.
There's this song which Anna sings, which is absolutely very, very fantastic. It's called The Next Best Step, right? When she's stuck inside the cave, she's worrying about a lot of things. Then she encourages herself to go and say, okay, don't think about all this. We just focus on the next best step. The next best step. I think the next best step. Don't need to go and think about other things. Just focus on the next best step. And I think that that's what really a lot of workplace managers need to learn. Post-mortem can come later. Focus on fixing the thing. Make sure the client is safe. Make sure that we are doing the correct thing here. Then later on, you want to go and scold me also can.
Okay, I think that's not even a post-mortem. It sounds more like a witch hunt. They didn't even have a post-mortem. They went for the witch hunt first,
Correct.
Yeah.
In that situation, which I told you, yes, it was just a witch hunt.
You think about it, when you're angry, burn the witch, and then after that, you forget to even look at the problem and fix it, right? Because we're so consumed with the energy of burning the witch.
Absolutely correct. Yeah.
If anyone can relate to Teacher Kean experience, please do share with us. If you in any situation that you gonna wish hunt first, or do you solve the problem?
Are you the ones who's witch hunting, or are you the one who's the witch who was hunted? Yeah. I mean, are you? For a fact that me and Liz are probably the witches who were hunted, confirmed. Even we're not guilty, just look at our face, guilty, yeah, burn them, kind of thing, I think.
Or do you guys solve the problem first and do? I think I'm a mixture of both. I do it at the same time, probably. I wish hunt at the same time. I solve the problem, but at the same time, I wish hunt.
Yes. I think I could do that too. I can really lecture someone who's at fault and solve the problem at the same time. It is skill. Okay, let me just say that is a skill when you multitask the burning of the witch and solve the problem at the same time.
I think that's what I think. I probably do that multitasking.
But here's the secret. Okay, I'll teach you guys a secret about parenting. Okay, now. Really, okay, guys, I'm going to tell you guys something very profound now, okay? For children especially, when you bring them through the correction, when you teach them how to fix the mistake, or when you punish them to fix the mistake, you will realize that most of the time after that, you don't even need to tell them that they were wrong.
Oh, ta-ta-ta.
Yeah.
Wow, very profound. So that
What
means
happens, yeah, for people who's never done this, or this is what happens when you teach them the correct way? Why is it that you don't need to
no,
tell
no,
them
no.
that they're wrong? Yeah.
Nina, the thing is, with teacher Ken, I can understand what you're saying because most of us usually parents, we just punish the kids first before correcting the mistake. Right,
I get
teacher Ken.
it, but because let's say that somebody who's watching, who's a parent, and who's always been correcting the kids, punishing them, what happens if you were to correct the mistake first? Because they probably never had that experience. Because
Okay,
they're
all right.
teaching first.
Before you answer, teacher Ken, wanna ask the audience? Yeah, maybe tell us based on your experience. Do you punish first or do you correct the mistake first? Especially like maybe Nadia, my sister, is there. Mama, you know how it is.
No. Sorry. Okay, punishing and correcting is the next best step. But what some parents do is, okay, I'll give you a scenario. Okay,
Yeah.
let's say, okay, I have two sons, right? Let's say that my 6-year-old son accidentally punches my 10-year-old son's eye. Okay, eye. Okay. All right. So now, what most parents will do straight away is ask, why did you do that? Now that is what we call the post-mortem witch hunt already. Then the next question is, what you do is very wrong. Okay, you must be careful. Blah 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 blah. Scold. Right, so now this is what we call post-mortem witch hunt. But actually, what we should do is, first of all, we need to go and say, you go and punch your brother already. You have to go and say sorry. Now you have to go and soothe him. You have to be responsible for making your older brother feel a bit better because you were the one who got him into the problem in the first place. You were the one who punched him. So sayang him. Teach him how to go and sayang the brother. Teach him how to go and stabilize the brother again. Now, here's what I mean. Here's what I mean, okay? Here's what I mean. Most of the time, after the younger brother has already stabilized the older brother, make the older brother manja again, okay, everything is rosy again. Let me ask you guys, okay? Do you still need to go and tell the 6-year-old that punching is wrong?
No.
Don't need already.
Because what you're doing is you're teaching them responsibility, that every cause there's an effect. So they understand that.
Oh,
That's
so
right.
I cannot do it at the same time. I tell him this is wrong. Go sayang him.
Can, but okay, let me ask you this now, okay, Liz. So much of our adult belief is based on the fact that our parents, our teachers, everyone is telling us every day that what we're doing is wrong. Is that useful or not? You already know it's wrong. What for? You want to go and tell him that he's wrong already? He already knows that he has done something wrong. So what is the use of telling him again that what you're doing is wrong? Now, of course, you have to go and tell a kid. Yep, Nina, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Go on. I'll do it. As a kid.
Yeah, but for most people, especially in the workplace, you'll realize this, okay? If one of your team members did something wrong, screwed up, ask him to go and apologize to the client, ask him to fix the mistake. After that, you still need to go and tell him, hey, you screwed up the report or not. Don't need already. He knows already. You know, if you want to do a post-mortem, then do a post-mortem on what can be done to prevent the problem. But don't need to go and tell him that he did it wrong.
I love this. This is brilliant. No, because I absolutely understand. I think as the child and even as the adult at work, you sometimes you don't know the problem that you did. You don't know how to solve it. So when you are left to handle the problem, it teaches you what to do. You know, kind of thing, and it keeps you responsible. So thank you.
So Gary writes here, how an organization deal with mistake is largely up to its leaders. If teams have the mentality of one team member mistake is a whole team's mistake, and more emphasis on fixing the mistake and preventing it from ever happening again, then those that made mistakes in the future will be fast to admit and improve. If every time a mistake is made, a witch hunt is the result. Best case is no one will admit, and worst case that the blame is shifted.
Yeah, correct. Absolutely right. Yeah.
Because the enemy is on finding fault and the witch hunt, and it's scary, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the problem doesn't get solved, and you also don't want to admit because you don't know how to solve the problem, right?
That is a really awesome sharing, because I when something goes wrong, sometimes I have the tendency to, hey, see, It's your fault who do this. So I focus on the problem rather than telling them at the end, But I don't know whether I like telling them so that don't repeat this mistake again, you know.
That
so
is
how
okay.
so how do we highlight by telling please don't repeat this mistake again? Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you a very, very practical example. Okay, so now
Ah,
I own an education center, I own a tuition center. I remember this story. Okay, so now I have one of those lucky cats, the Japanese lucky cats, right? And one day, right, okay, some kids, okay, some of my students ran and go and broke my lucky cat. My goodness, so angry at them. Okay, so then
not
one of
lucky
my
anymore.
Yeah, bad luck cat.
Right. So now one of my teachers did exactly the same thing which my master did so many years ago. She lined up all the kids and go and ask them who did this, And I was laughing internally. I said, no lah, let's not do this. Okay, all of you go to the back, wear socks, go and grab gloves. Let's go and sweep up the pieces first. After sweeping up the pieces, make sure that everything here is clean. All right, now all of you go back to class. Do I need to go and tell them to be careful next time or not? They already did the punishment already. They already did the fixing already. So this is a really good example of, okay, next time, do I need to tell them they are wrong? Now, what Lee says is very right. Okay, after you have fixed a mistake, if you want to go and tell them, next time don't run, then yeah, you can. But you don't need to go and tell them next time don't be careless. They already know that they did something wrong. Through their fixing of the mistake, they already learned the lesson already. The problem which most parents do is that they clean up the mess for the kids, then go and scold them. And they think that that's punishment. No, that's not punishment. That is not teaching them any skills.
That is slavery as well.
Yeah.
On the parent side lah.
So okay, let's go back. Ni dah cerita pasal parenting pula. So now let's go back.
Rewind.
Rewind. So let's go back to, so after you're done with, when you're doing a lawyer, then what happened next after that?
Yeah, how did you switch? Why did you switch?
Yeah. So how long were you in becoming
Legal.
practicing as a lawyer? Yeah.
Okay, so now I really, really wanted to do corporate law and finance, but I was becoming more and more entrenched and specialized in an area of law which I didn't like. So which was intellectual property. I really wasn't very interested in copyright, trademarks, all this, right? Okay.
Okay.
So then I started.
Hi, Shireen. Sorry.
Hello, hi Shireen. Hi Tila, and hi Gary. Hi everyone. If I missed you out, sorry. I think Angela is here as well. All right. So then, then I decided to start interviewing because I started to realize that, hey, law is not the place where I can use my talents to the maximum lah. Then I was very extremely lucky to get into investment banking because back in the days they didn't accept lawyers as investment bankers. They only took accountants and CFAs and analysts.
Indeed.
So
So what happened?
I got into investment banking. Nothing. I went through so many interviews and I failed all of them because I had no idea what was I talking about. I was always talking about finance from a legal point of view, from a compliance point of view. That's not what they're looking for, isn't it? But from this process, I learned something. I learned to understand what the client wants. I learned to understand what the client wants. Then I started to really.
How did you learn what the client wants?
Because after a while, I began to realize that all the interviewers are using the same language.
So you aced your interviews after a while?
No, after I started realizing this, I started studying. So here's the other thing, okay? Study is very important. So then, I got the next interview I went to.
Okay, and that's how you ended up coming in. Okay.
So you were studying, you based on the failures of the other interviews, you study and then you went to the next interview and you were successful in it.
Yes, correct. Absolutely.
So then what did you do as an investment banker? And how long were you?
So I was in corporate finance, and this is a funny story. I started out in a bank called Huang DBS Investment Bank. Very good bank. A small. This is Huang DBS Investment Bank. And over here, these are my colleagues in corporate finance. So in corporate finance, what we do is
that you on the second right?
Yeah, that's the handsome guy with the spectacles.
Show the photo because we cannot see it.
I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see it, but it's on the camera. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's you. All right.
All
So
right.
and then you say you want DBS, huh?
Started out in a investment bank called Huang DBS, and
Mm.
wow, it's really good because I learned a lot from them. Now, as a corporate financier, what we do is we help companies who want to expand get money. We raise money for them. So money can only be found in one or two ways only if in the corporate world. The first one is called equity. The second one is called debt. All right. You go and borrow money to go and raise equity, to raise money. Or you come to us, which is in corporate finance. We help you find investors, or we help you do IPOs, or we help you do mergers and acquisitions. Basically help you to raise money by way of selling your shares. So
Mhm.
that's what I did. I was a fundraising expert. Mm.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, how long you were doing this for?
I was doing investment banking for a very long time, guys. I was there for maybe, well, relatively long compared to law. I was there for 6, 7 years. Yeah. Mhm.
So,
Wow. Okay.
did you think you enjoy being a lawyer than investment banker, or which
Oh
other?
no, no. Investment banking is so much more three-dimensional than law, to me at least. Okay, some lawyers are
Mm.
really happy doing, exploring the law, studying the law, and evolving together with the law. But it was not that for me. For me,
Mm.
as an investment banker, I could liaise with lawyers, I liaise with accountants, I liaise with tax experts, I liaise with marketing research people, internal controls people. It was really, 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 really good.
Mm.
Ah,
It was a job where bosses of big companies had to teach me, they were forced to teach me how they made money and how they got connections, because I write prospectuses for them. Yeah. So let's
Mm.
say let's say a company wants to go for IPO, which is a public
Mm.
listing. They want to raise money, right? They have to write a story, right, about their
Yes.
company, about all their secrets, how they got here. So they have to tell me their story, and I will write it for them. So that's essentially what we do.
ah,
Okay.
I
And
see.
why did you only stay there for 7 years? What happened that made you
Yeah.
leave?
All right. So, okay. All right. This is an interesting story.
Uh-huh.
You see, okay, here's the thing. I was never very, very happy. And this comes all the way back to childhood. Yeah, okay. I was very serious all the while.
Mm-hmm.
And in investment banking, I'll tell you the story first, then later on I'll tell you the lesson. Yeah, okay. I
Mm-hmm.
I was after Huang DBS, all right, we went to this company called Affin Investment Bank. You might have heard of it, Affin Bank, lah, right?
Yep.
And here's the funny thing, okay? We left Huang DBS because we wanted to run away from certain people. But after going to Affin Investment Bank, guess what? 2 months later, Affin Investment Bank bought Huang DBS. So all the people were merged with us again.
Cannot
Okay.
lari.
Sounds
So I
familiar.
cannot lari. Cannot
Cannot
lari.
run away.
Yeah, so that's why I was in Affin Huang Investment Bank. Now, in Affin Huang Investment Bank, I had this very special distinction. I was the youngest vice president ever in Affin
Wow.
Huang Investment Bank. Yeah, very, very, very proud of that achievement. However, I remember working sometimes 12. It was very common to work 12-hour days, very common, sometimes 14 hours and more. Right, I remember there was this particularly very busy time where I would rush to print a circular in the office, go back, take a bath, and immediately go back into the office for the next project. Yeah, those were the type of nights, very good, learned a lot of things, but not very good for my health. So what
Mm.
happens was, right? I felt very miserable, guys, very, very miserable. And one day, right, when I woke up, I went to the sink, I coughed, and yeah, the whole sink was full of blood. Yeah, really,
Oh my
really. Yeah.
God.
Yes. And you know, right? Okay, that type of feeling is that wow, I'm very scared, I'm very
Mm-hmm.
scared because I'm
Yeah.
scared that it might be a critical illness, right?
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
time I was like what, 28, 29, right? I just had my first kid. So I was very, very worried. Wait, no, this was maybe around 31, 30, 31. All right.
Yeah.
So very, very worried. And I kept on vomiting blood for around a week. And
Oh my
eventually the
Oh wait,
pain,
you
a
didn't
week.
even see the doctor?
No, of course not. You know why? Because I'm scared to know the truth.
Oh
wow.
my God,
Okay.
you crazy. And then
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody's reacting now. Shereen's like, oh my God, cough, blood.
Yeah.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, blood.
For one
That's
week and
right.
you didn't go to the doctor. Okay. And
No,
then
Yeah.
I didn't. I was so scared. Okay, I was so scared. All right, now, so then finally, at the end of a week, I'm like, hey, cannot lah, wait. My tekak, right? Very pain already, no choice. Have to go to the
yeah, how
doctor. I
much
took
blood you got
emergency.
to cough anyway?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, don't worry about it. So took emergency leave, went to go and see a doctor. Then after examining my throat, the doctor said, "Hey, I have good news for you and I have bad news for you. Here's the good news. Okay, listen, guys. Okay, the good news
You're
is
not
you
dying.
don't have you don't have a critical illness. No, it is nothing like that. Okay, it's not cancer. No, nothing like that. But the bad news is okay. This is the good news. That's still the good news. All along your throat, all the way down to your stomach, ulcers. Ulcers.
Oh
Ooh, and
my
also stress,
god.
right?
Say again.
Ulcer is stress, right? They say triggered by
Ulcer is
stress.
stress. Yes, correct. Okay, so you know the ulcers we have in our mouth? Same.
Mhm.
It's just that it's all in our throats, all the way down to my stomach. So every time I cough,
All
all
the
the
way
ulcers
down to the
rupture.
stomach. Oh my
Ah,
god.
We're like,
all the ulcers rupture.
oh, okay, thank you for that. We're all
So
our DNA, our cells are reacting now to it.
did you take a rest then after that?
So then the doctor told me the bad news. This is the
Mhm.
bad news. All right, that one was the good news. The bad
Oh.
news is I have a virus in my nose where 30% of people with this virus will have nose cancer incurable.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
so
Virus
Wow.
was, sorry,
say again.
what
Say,
virus was that?
I can't remember already, but I can't remember the name of the virus. Something like BHP virus. I can't. BHP sounds like a petrol station. BCP or
It
something
is.
like that.
Yeah, it is a petrol station. Okay, so 30% of people who have it get nose cancer.
Will get
Wow.
nose cancer inoperable nose cancer incurable.
Mm.
So then he told me, hey, you know what? You're like 30, 31 only. You make a choice lah. You want to continue working or you want to die lah. Essentially lah. You want to die early lah. Right. So now, hey guys, here's the interesting bit lah. Okay, what do you think I felt when I heard that? Okay, keep in mind okay, that investment banking, I'm working 12, 13, 14 hours a day. My bonus is in the double digits one,
Okay, I think at that time you would have thought it was the end of the world. I think I would assume that
Okay, at
Okay,
least
okay, guys. If you before you answer
which
what
one?
you did, right, guys,
Mm.
why don't you guys, if you
Share.
were in Teacher Kian's, share. Uh, if you were in Teacher Kian's position, what would you think and what would you feel? What would you do? What would you think? Sharon,
So
Vivian,
Vivian is
Gary.
saying you felt relief. Let's
Yeah,
just
but
share what Vivian said.
no, Vivian, yeah. So what?
Okay, I'm making a bet that
Yeah.
Teacher Ken was like, "What? How can I be sick? I need to do all this work and stuff like that." That's my version. What about you guys out there?
Yeah.
Gary, Shireen,
Well,
let us know. Dina, let us know what you think.
Mama,
How-
you used to work very, very hard, lots of hard. If you were in that position, what would you be thinking at that time? What would you decide? What would you
Liz,
guys
how
decide?
how do you think I felt when the doctor told me this news?
I think my heart will fall down the floor.
I
And my
think so
heart will
too.
fall down, and then I think I will
Because
have my
because the
my my
teacher
whole life, my whole life flashing here,
Mm. Because I
flashing.
think the teacher Ken at that point was a very serious person, and
Yeah,
that was like everything for
my
you.
life,
Probably,
my whole life will be flashing in front of me.
Okay,
yeah.
so youngest vice president, bonuses in
Mm,
the double digits, right? Okay, I'm
mm,
just 30. How could this happen to me? Why is life so unfair? Angry, right?
uh,
No, Vivian is right. I felt relief.
wow,
I
you were
actually felt
relieved.
happy. I actually
Wow.
felt happy. And I'll tell you why. Okay,
Okay,
it was
why?
because I was miserable every day in my job.
Wow.
It
Okay.
was because I was miserable every day in my job. I was in a really bad place. I blamed everyone. I blame my boss. I blame my work. I blame my clients. I blame the regulator for how I felt. So at that point, when someone told me, you have a license to walk away from a high paying job and no one is going to ask you, why are you doing such a stupid thing? I felt happy.
Wow. Because you now had an excuse.
I had a passport
Okay. That
to
makes
walk
sense.
away from something without people giving me brickbats for it.
Wow. So Gary says here, my cousin's classmate had a similar story, not as bad in health. His classmate was an international investment banker. Classmate gave up jobs with millions of dollars because his time away took a toll on his family.
Wow. So investment
So,
banking is not fun. Money.
Teacher Ken, what is does it affect your family like how the Gary shared his
12
story?
hours, mom?
I mean, yeah, right. Definitely, it would take a toll. But let me tell you this, okay, all right. Now, so here's the story. Here's the lesson, okay. After investment banking, I went into private equity. After
Right.
private equity, I started a few businesses, and let me tell you this, guys, okay. It wasn't investment banking. It wasn't the long working hours. It wasn't the environment. It wasn't my bosses. It wasn't the regulator. It wasn't the clients. Wherever I went, I was running away. I was
From?
miserable everywhere I went.
Wow. Okay, so then you
Ah,
knew it was you because that seems to be the common denominator in everything.
That's absolutely right, Nina. Correct. Is
yeah.
law such a bad profession? Why do I have to run from law? No, it wasn't.
Hmm.
It was
Mm,
So
me.
what were you really running away from, Teacher Ken?
yeah.
All right. So now, when I was a kid, all right, I like to play computer games.
Mhm.
And now that I identified it, okay, I can very clearly tell you what's the lesson here. All right. My
Mm,
dad one day told me a very innocent offhand remark. He said, okay, Ken, if you didn't play so many computer games, you could reach your true potential. And that has been with me ever since. So when I'm doing law, I'm always looking for something better. All right.
right.
When I'm doing investment banking, I'm always wondering, hey, am I doing my full potential or not? Or,
Mm.
and when I want to take a break, I feel so guilty all the time because I feel like I'm not doing my maximum potential. So
Ah,
wherever I went, I was extra serious. I cannot remember my wins one. I will only remember my losses. Because I'll give you an example, okay? I'll give you
Not
an
an easy
example.
way to live.
Yeah, it's not an easy way to live. Let's
Mm.
say I make 10 trades in the market, all right? I win 8 of them. I cannot remember one. I will only remember the 2 failures. Because I'm
Mm.
always wondering, is this my maximum potential? Am I doing the things I'm supposed to do or not?
Mm.
And so no
so
matter where, yep, go ahead.
so that means it can be the way of thinking can be a pro or can be the worst for a person, right?
Mm,
Some people can think like, oh, maybe my potential is better, then they go for it and they become better. Another thing. Some people may say that the coming from is probably the guilt that they have not done the best. So would you say it comes from the emotion that it was evoking guilt that causes you to do that?
yes, Liz, you are absolutely correct. You have articulated it very well. Yes, okay. Now, if you have a motivation and if it makes you feel good, then yeah, it's obviously good lah. We call it eustress, EUSTRESS.
Mm.
But if it makes you feel guilty, if it makes you feel bad whenever you take a break or whenever you are hanging out with friends, you feel bad because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, then we call it distress lah. Then that's the bad type of stress. So now I was only having distress. I had zero eustress, okay? I was doing things just because I felt like I wasn't doing my best, not because I had a goal.
Yeah.
Not because I had a destination. No, it's
Mm.
just because I felt like I can be doing better.
Mm.
You see, here's the
Because
thing.
that
Yeah,
belief was formed that you are not at your full potential.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mm.
Ah.
Yeah.
So how does that how do you balance that life, or how does it affect your family life in any way?
Absolutely. It took a huge toll on my family. All right.
Okay.
Now, here's the other thing also, okay? Here's the other thing. I really like to blame people. I had
Mm.
this victim blame mentality. Sangat teruk, guys. I would typically say this to my ex-wife back then when we were married. You know I'm in a bad mood today. Why don't you say nice things to me? And
Oh, he's the
she
guy
would,
that we were
uh,
talking about in the last few episodes, the narcissistic something. I'm so sorry. This is so funny. Okay, anyway.
yeah, absolutely. So that is really victim mentality, right? Okay.
Mhm.
I never took responsibility for my own feelings. All right.
Wow.
If I met someone like Andreas Dorn or Shireen many now, okay, they will go and tell me hey, you need to take responsibility for your own feelings, otherwise you will forever be trapped in your own jail. It's true,
Mm, mm,
but I
mm,
didn't know that at the time. I was just young and foolish. Nowadays I'm old and foolish but a bit wiser. So yeah, that this severe victim mentality. I tried to change everyone around me without changing myself, and I couldn't focus on the wins at all. No, I was so obsessed with the losses that no matter where I went, the health problems followed.
Can I also, maybe it's because you couldn't see the wins in you, and therefore you couldn't see the wins in other people because you were focused on the what you didn't have, what was lacking, what was missing, all the negative part. That maybe that's why you saw that in people as well. You couldn't see the positives. Would you say that? Is it the same?
Definitely. And I was trying to take a shortcut by trying to change people instead of trying to change myself. Right. Okay. So now my ex-wife is a career lady. Hey, you all guess who is my ex-wife? She's also on LinkedIn.
Really?
Yes, quite a fair amount of followers
No,
as well.
no.
All right.
Okay, anybody can take a guess who is Teacher Ken's ex-wife. Let us know in the comments.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
just to
Any idea?
Vivian said you are a perfectionist.
No, I'm not a perfectionist. It is not
Ah.
that. No, I wasn't a perfectionist. I was just chasing a belief without a goal. And that
No.
is where you should always have a goal. All right? And you should really take responsibility for the way you feel. All right. Okay, but anyway, okay, so now my ex was someone who is also very career oriented. And I started blaming her for things like why you never take care of me. Why you never take care of me, why are you spending so little time with the kids? Now I realize, that if you really love someone, let them do what they love to do, let them do what they want to do. Who am I to go and control you or anyone else? I would say the same things to my mother. Hey, why you talk to me like this? Can't you see I'm in a bad mood? Nothing to do with my mother. Think about it, guys. Okay. Back then in investment banking, okay, my colleagues were also working 12, 13, 14-hour days. Why they never oust us? Why?
Yeah, true.
It was because I was putting a lot of stress on myself, and I was really, really frustrated and torn internally because I'm trying to change the circumstance. I'm trying to change the environment. Very hard lah,
All this was happening when you were in private equity.
No, this was in investment banking. Then I went to private equity. Same things happened. Same things happened. Then I started my own businesses. Well, let me tell you, guys, this one is very, very hard. Okay, because I have a bit of savings, right? I invested in a dairy cow business. We put in around 800,000. Me and my partners. I lost all of it, I lost all of it. Yes.
Okay.
I lost all of it due to, self-sabotage, all these things.
Wow. So I guess you know what they say, the universe throws you pebbles for you to get it. But if you don't get it, they throw you a bigger stone and a bigger stone until I guess this was the boulder to get your attention that Houston, you have a problem. We have a problem. We need to look into this. And did you then look into it?
Okay, yes. So can you tell us at what point that made you ta-da? Really big. At what point?
When did you realize it was? I have a problem.
Yeah. Yep. When did you realize? At which point?
Yep. So thanks, Lise, for the question, and Nina, you're absolutely right. So now, I believe that we are put on this world. Okay, this is my personal belief. Okay, we are put on this world, to learn lessons. There are certain lessons we have to learn, right? And I believe that most religions and most philosophies believe essentially the same thing. Where here we have chobaan, we have chobaan, we have lessons to learn. If you're Hindu, then you also understand this, right? Yeah. Okay, and yes, Nina is absolutely right. If you refuse to learn that lesson, yes, the universe or your body or your inner being or whatever you call it, God will arrange more and more harder challenges for you until you finally get the lesson. This is why I always tell my clients, right, that pimples and your feelings are exactly the same thing, Emotions and pimples are exactly the same thing. So let's go through this thought exercise, guys, okay? When do we get pimples? When do we get pimples?
Stress, when things are not working.
Good. What else? What mechanical, physical reasons do we get pimples?
You don't drink enough water.
Don't drink enough water. Good. What else?
Face oily.
Face oily.
Not good stuff.
Eating fried stuff, not good stuff, right? Okay, then there are other hormone imbalances, right? Correct. So now you see, okay, we all have this inner being or subconscious mind or God or the universe, as you all want to call it. All right. I'm not afraid of using names here because I believe we all are talking about the same thing. Now, the body has very limited ways to go and send messages to you. Okay. So now if you're doing something wrong, if you're eating the wrong things, how does your body tell you? Nah, send you one pimple. Tau tau da. Right? Have you gotten the message?
Or cough blood lah, whichever.
Correct. Okay, so now if you ignore the pimple, the next message it will send you is back pain, cough blood, right? Then if you still don't listen, what do they say? What does your body send you?
Cancer.
Cancer,
I don't know.
absolutely. Heart disease, right? All these are non-communicable diseases. You didn't get it from a virus. You didn't get it from somewhere. It comes from within. Right. It's your body desperately trying to send you a message that, hey, you have to take care of yourself or you have to go and change certain aspects of your physical life. Right? Right. So now here's the thing. So here's the thing, okay, guys. Emotions are exactly the same thing, but for your thoughts. Now, sometimes, okay, when we are thinking bad things, what do we get immediately? Panic. Right, absolutely. Every negative emotion you get is a direct result of what you're thinking at the moment. You think of bad things, you feel sad, or you think of you think of badly about someone else, you get jealousy, or you think of coveting something else's thing, jealousy, stress, depression. All of this is actually a very direct result of the thoughts we are thinking. Of course, it's not so easy. It's multifactorial. Hormones, chemicals play a large part of it. All right, but essentially, our emotions are a direct result of our thoughts. And so, how does the body tell you, "Hey, stop thinking about this"? Sending you bad emotions, It's like that. All right, and this is one of the lessons we have to learn. So yeah.
What was your tada moment then? So you see Gary Lim here, he says what? My tada moment was when I missed my daughter's first everything because I took a high paying job out of state. For the first year of my daughter's life, I was away Monday to Friday. On the weekends, I'm home. I was too tired to enjoy time with her and my wife. So when my contract ended, I stayed home unemployed for almost 2 years and spent every minute with my daughter. It did not make up the time I lost, but that was the most amazing time in my life. So when was your tada moment?
It was because my marriage was okay. A lot of reasons. All right, my businesses were not doing well because of a lot of self-sabotage. I micromanage my partners. I really for the things which I couldn't control, I try to control them instead of focusing on the things I can control to help. So my dairy cow business was doing badly. We lost the 800,000. At the same time, I was blaming my ex for everything in my personal life. So I was handling a divorce and business failure at the same time.
Wow.
So then I was in a really, really, really bad place. And then I started to study. That's what my fallback is every time when there's something bad. I studied. So I studied texts like The Power of Now, 12 Rules for a Good Life, all of these things. And then I started to realize, hey, might it have been me, Then I started to so I started to understand myself a bit better and started to take responsibility for the way I feel. I started to listen to my emotions.
So
was there like a turning point that was a huge aha moment for you during this learning that completely flipped the way you look at things?
Yeah, absolutely. I just decided that enough was enough, what's going on here. So then, being the problem solver type of person, very serious, right? Okay. When to read up on it, when to go and Google what type of books do I need to go and get out from this place. So the book which really, really turned my life around, and this is a book which I recommend to people every time they ask me, is The Power of Now by this gentleman called Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle, yeah. Absolutely must read Power of Now.
We all know about that book. Yes.
So, I know about the book, but only one thing remains from that whole book. Everything else I forgot. But anyway, powerful book.
Yeah. Must read The Power of Now.
So from that moment, how did you think of I want to teach parents and
how did it transition into that?
Yeah.
From investment bank, private equity, cow, and then Teacher Kean.
Yeah.
All right. So So here's the thing, right? After I lost so much money, I was the boss in my education center, right? But I couldn't afford it anymore. I didn't have money anymore. So I had to teach again. So now, when I started to teach, I realized that, hey, I'm pretty good at it, kids improve. And generally, students have very good feedback for me. Then because of that, I was invited to become a guest lecturer in international schools. Then in international schools, I realized that, oh my goodness, the difference between a good teacher and a great teacher, what the bridge is really, 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 really far gap,
Ah,
Then I realized that, hey, I'm good at teaching. I can teach. This is something I can do. But I don't really want to go and teach children. I realized that teaching adults is where I'm meant to be. So I took my HRDF license. Right, I took
ah,
my HRDF license. While doing my HRDF license, my trainer, the head trainer, this lady called Puan Faha, very, very, very good trainer, she told me, hey, in Malaysia, no one is doing teachers training, I said, what's that? And she gave me this book. So study again. And I realized that, okay, this is very, very important. I need to go and do this. So that's how I started teacher training from my HRDF course.
but how do you get the headmaster license?
Yeah, that's interesting.
All right, now back when I was rich, okay, one of the things I invested in
I love
back
it.
when I
Back
was
when I
rich,
was rich.
back when I was rich. Okay, back when I was rich, what I believed that I believed in investing in talent. So I was like a mini private equity firm. People would come to me when they have a good idea and they needed money and a partner to develop their business. So one of the people which came to me was a teacher. He wanted to open a tuition center, and I said, okay, all right, you have the experience, you have the character. Okay, I'll give you money. I throw money at him, right? Then I help them go and develop their license and to go and set up the thing because that's why I do business development. So then I remember this. We went to the Ministry of Education and we proposed a Guru Besar for this education center because we were a proper tuition center. So we have to go through all these rules. And the ministry kept on rejecting each one of my candidates, to be Guru Besar. And finally they say, hey, Kian, I've met you for so many months already. All right, how about your CV? Show me your CV. I'm like, no, I'm an investor. I don't want to be involved in the day-to-day. She said, never mind, you show me. Hey, you're a lawyer, what? You jadi lah. I'm like, what?
Okay. So that's how you got it.
Then I said, yeah, but I don't want to, Then she said, no, if you don't, I'm going to reject you. You want to go through another few months of this? Hey, opening a legal tuition center is a big deal, guys. It takes a lot of time. So, okay, I become Guru Besar, went through the training, went through the approval process. Until today, I'm still a licensed Guru Besar, It's so funny.
I was like, license Guru Besar ni.
I
Guru
did
Besar
not
mana?
know there was such thing. Licensed Guru
Yeah.
Besar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Licensed
Oh.
Guru Besar, the cert is very valuable because Ministry of Education doesn't give it out very freely anymore. Right. So very interesting story there.
So you are here doing corporate trainings. Oh, this is your corporate training.
Yes, this is a video of me doing corporate training.
And then
And who were you training?
This one are teachers,
This one is me
right?
in
Parents.
no, this one is actually teachers. So maybe I mislabeled it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was a chain of childcare centers, a huge chain in Shah Alam. So I went in to go and teach their teachers. I think there were around 40 to 50 of them. Yeah. This one is another one. This one is a STEAM school. STEAM school means science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So this was a STEAM school. This one was in investment banking. Yeah.
Sorry.
This was a corporate training.
So, Teacher Kean, I just want to ask you, with what you have learned so far today, right? Okay, the virtues that you learned today, what would you say to the little kid, Kian?
The younger Kian.
I
The
thought
teacher
about this.
Kian today. Teacher Kian today. What would this teacher Kian today say to the little Kian?
I thought about this many times, and I realized, right, that I wouldn't tell him anything. I would just go and say, you're strong enough, you have to get through it. Open your ears, open your heart, and accept the lessons. Right now, because you see, okay, if none of those tragedies happened, I wouldn't be the teacher Ken I am today. It's so sad, that if my life were a bit easier, I probably wouldn't be doing this. If I was rich, I wouldn't have become a teacher.
True.
Okay.
I had to
So,
lose that money. I had to be desperate.
okay. So what did you learn? What are the virtues that you learned by going through all these experiences?
Well, everything happens for a reason. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
you can't see, you can only feel the suffering, you can only feel the pain, but you
Yeah.
have to trust that it is that is for a bigger reason, it is for a bigger purpose. Most of the time, it is for your benefit. Things are
Yeah.
happening for your
So
benefit.
this benefit that you got, what are the things that you learned to become who you are today? What are the virtues that you learned?
Stop blaming other people.
Ah,
If you are
okay.
unhappy, take responsibility for it. You can change
So
your
being
emotions.
Okay.
responsible.
Being
Yeah.
responsible for how you feel. This is
Mm.
why every day on LinkedIn, I keep on telling people you only have one
Mm.
priority. Your only priority every day, no matter what you have to do, is to go and take care of how you feel.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's the number one priority.
That's a very
That's
simple thing.
awesome.
No, it's very hard to take care of how you
Well,
feel.
it's a simple thing, but whether you do it or not, whether you get it or not, is a different story.
So everyone, maybe you can just share what are your takeaways by
From
listening to
tonight,
this
yeah.
experience. Yeah, from tonight's show.
I okay. While waiting for the comments, what's your biggest learning from tonight from Teacher Ken's sharing? I have one question to ask Teacher Ken. Now that you are where you are, how do you find teaching? Is this the industry for you? Are you still miserable, or what have you found here that you didn't find before?
Hey, no lah, I'm so happy teaching lah. When I'm teaching, I'm like, feeling so hyper.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah, yeah.
What
Teaching.
does teaching do for you? Yeah, what does teaching give you that the other careers did not? Just wondering.
No, so you see, here's the thing, okay? If I were to go back to law today, I would still be a very happy lawyer. If I were to go
Mm,
back to investment banking, I would be a happy investment banker. But what is it about teaching? Teaching is that, okay, now it is the fastest way for me to go and help people get learn their lessons. Right? Right, Nina, people, we all need to learn lessons along the way. And now in a position of influence as a licensed Guru Besar HRDF trainer, that is the fastest way for me to go and help people. I realized one thing, okay, we can't help people by giving them money or by giving them material goods. You're depriving them from the lesson.
Mm.
You know what I
So,
mean? You're taking away their pain.
can I ask you what made you decide inside your heart that I want to teach this to people? What motivate you?
I want people to go and to get to where they have to be, to learn the lessons they have to learn in the least amount of suffering, using the path of least resistance. Right? That's the honest truth. Right. I hope that people don't have to go through so many repeated suffering to get to
like
where
you
they have
lah.
to be. Like
Yeah, yeah.
me, yeah, like
Long,
So
me.
I
long
think
road.
you be a father, like happy father, happy teacher. Yeah. I think you for me what I can take away from you is that yeah, be responsible of our own emotions and be
Definitely.
accountable to it. One thing, and then secondly, the biggest eye opener for me is actually the one that stop witch hunting. Whether blame- yeah, but I can't be witch hunting and try to do at the same time. Focus on like okay, how do we fix this? Focus on
Yep,
that
yep.
because we don't need to highlight the this is wrong because I've been doing that to my own kids, even to my own siblings. I tell, hey, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. I keep telling them also. I'm the big sister. Like that lah.
I
Kan,
think it's a
Nadia?
very I think it's a very Asian thing to do, right? I think it's how we're taught. I think, kind of thing. Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
go ahead.
and, I think for me, my biggest lesson is again, it's exactly like what Liz said. It's it's the actually you gave me a tool. Solve the problem first, and then they will naturally learn from it. Yeah, kind of thing. So that was absolutely useful. And there's a lot of sharing now as well. Maybe you want to share this?
Yeah, which one?
Vivian is saying her
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
learning from
yeah.
tonight is
Yeah.
taking care of
Taking
our
care of the
emotions.
emotions.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yeah, Vivian is saying that, and then we have here Gary look inside for happiness. That's
Yeah.
right.
And I
Yeah.
think yours it's so right because it's exactly what Teacher Ken said. But now that he is where he is, if he was back in law, he'd be a happy lawyer. He'd be a happy investment maker. But he's finally found his passion in teaching. Is the fastest way to get to a
Okay.
lot of you guys, right?
Okay. One question to you, Teacher Ken. What if as an outsider, I see somebody like who you were before. I see someone, I know he's experiencing, he's not happy with himself. And he's, no, he's, everything goes wrong. So, as an outsider, as a person looking in, knowing that he or she going through that, how do we support them?
Tell them the pimple story. Remember the story I told you about pimples and emotions? Yeah, the pimple story is highly effective. If I had time, I would go and tell you the brushing teeth story. That one is very mind blowing. But I don't think we have enough time, right? Yeah.
How much time is the teeth brushing story? Sorry, just wondering.
Maybe 5 minutes, I guess. If we're quick,
You
I can
guys,
go and
I don't know, Liz.
Yeah, sure, we have maximum 12 o'clock.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay, okay, all right.
Toothbrushing
This
story.
one,
Go. 5
You
minutes.
guys,
toothbrushing story. This one is also very mind blowing. Yes,
you guys
Liz?
want to hear about, this brushing, what, toothbrushing story? Okay.
Toothbrushing
Yeah.
story.
I do, definitely.
Okay, now let's say a few years back. Okay, this is studies. This is not teacher care. This is not spiritual. This is science. Okay, right. A few years back, a bunch of experts, a bunch of scientists, they decided to do this experiment. So they designed an app. This app is very very simple. Okay, it basically they sent it out to 25,000 people all around the world, different ages, different races, different time zones, different jobs, different poverty levels, different richness levels. Basically, they had a random sampling of 25,000 people. This app is very simple. It just asks you two questions. The first question is, right now, when you receive this message, and they would send out these messages at random times during a day, okay? Right now, when you're reading this message, how happy are you? 0, extremely unhappy. 10, extremely happy. 5, neutral. Okay? All right. Serious truth business. Okay, so now, then people will go and vote according to the sliding scale. Then the next question would be this, okay? Now, what were you doing when this message came? Okay, so now you can see what the scientists are trying to do. They're trying to go and find a link between what daily activities we do and whether those daily activities make us happy or sad. Okay, so now here's my question to the both of you and to the audience. What daily activity do we do which makes us saddest? What do you guys think? Go. Saddest. What daily
Saddest.
activity? What daily activity we do every day? What part of our daily routine we do every day will make us saddest, or we are saddest when we're doing it?
Saddest when we're doing it.
I don't know.
But
I would
Okay.
say, being on the toilet bowl, but then I'm usually happy there as well. So I don't know. I'm sorry. That's a bit personal, but yeah. Washing
Okay.
dishes.
Okay. Angela is onto
wash
something here.
dishes.
Angela is onto something here. Washing dishes. Okay, so now
Doing laundry. I would
Doing
say
laundry?
because
Okay.
I cannot handle laundry. Yeah.
cooking. If I have to
Cooking?
cook, I tak suka.
Okay. All right. Now, a lot of people answer being stuck in traffic jams. Paying bills is another popular one, which I asked, right? My hubby's
Oh my
clothes.
God, look at Vivian. You're so
Okay.
bad.
All right. Another one which is very popular, working. Okay. I'm very sad when I'm working. Okay. No, all of these are not correct. The closest one is actually Angela, and I'll tell you why. Okay. So now these scientists, right, have discovered, this is very mind blowing, the saddest time in the day for us is when we are brushing our teeth.
Ooh, in the morning. Oh, because you have
No.
to wake up. Wow,
No, it is
at
not.
night.
It's not that. At night and in the morning, both times you brush your teeth, both times you'll be saddest in the day.
Oh, why?
The second most saddest time in the day is when you are taking a shower. When you're taking a shower. So when the scientists got this result, they're like, why? But the evidence is very undeniable, Why are people so sad when they brush their teeth? Why are people so sad when they're taking their showers?
Angela,
then they
tell us. Okay, then.
So, by the way, out of the 1,000 parents have asked this, only one got it right before. Only one have answered that I'm saddest when I'm brushing my teeth. Then I know that this guy got serious problem already. He's the only one who got it right. Okay, so now the scientists were very confounded. Why is it that brushing teeth and taking a shower will make people so sad? So they asked a follow-up question. They asked a few follow-up questions to go and test their hypothesis. So one of the questions they asked is, when you are driving or when this message came, what were you thinking about? What were you thinking about? Were you thinking about brushing your teeth, or were you thinking about something else? Were you thinking about taking a shower when you're taking a shower, or were you thinking about something else? Then they realized the reason,
Gary.
why people are so upset when they're brushing their teeth is because they have the time to fikir yang bukan-bukan.
Oh, like what?
They have the time to think about things which is not brushing teeth.
Yeah
So
lah.
when you are in the shower, you have the time to think of all sorts of bad stuff. When you are driving and you're stuck in a jam, you have the time to think about all types of unhelpful things. When you're washing the dishes, you have the time to think about all sorts of unhelpful things. So that's the reason.
Oh, I think because I put on my Netflix or when I do things, that's why I don't have the time to think.
Absolutely, that's right. That's right. And this is a story. This is one of my greatest success stories. One of my clients, she asked me, Teacher Kean, I'm so miserable. How do I become happy? Right? How do I start thinking positively? And I say, you can't. You've been practicing thinking negatively for 40 years. You want me to go and teach you how to become positive all of a sudden? That doesn't happen. Anyone who tells you that can happen is just selling you toxic positivity. There's this term, right? Toxic positivity. Right?
I know
Okay,
toxic masculinity, but positivity, I don't know. I'm probably it.
No, you're not. Okay, it's basically telling a depressed person to go on LinkedIn and look at the motivational posters and feel better. That's not going to happen. You can't. You need to go through a process, and psychologists like Dr. Lavanya or Andreas will tell you there's a process, and the first step in this process is something called distraction. That's why, yes, if you are thinking a lot of bukan-bukan, when you're brushing your teeth or when you're taking a shower, watch Netflix. Yes. That's the
Or
first
listen
step.
to good music.
Or listen to good music and sing in the shower. Correct.
I think all showers should have radio. Just don't put it in the bathtub or when you're showering, because then you can kill yourself,
Yep. So now,
I think Gary has got a very special way. He said, I'm always grateful because I can wake up and I love shower, especially when I have company in the shower. That's why I like
when you're company in the shower.
I am on Team Gary. Definitely.
this one lagi best.
Probably why I enjoy these activities, because I train myself not thinking of things I cannot control long time ago. Good job. Always concentrate on a solution. Yeah, definitely. Good job.
So now, here's the thing which I need to emphasize. Remember the scientists I told you who conducted the experiment? Here's what they realized, whether you're thinking of good memories, bad memories, good daydreaming, happy dreams, bad or worried about the future, whatever it is, whether it's good thoughts or bad thoughts, as long as you're not thinking about what you're doing now, you are going to feel bad. So, I'll give you an example. I'm brushing my teeth, right? I'm brushing my teeth. I'm supposed to be thinking of brushing teeth only. If I think of a good memory in the past, I will feel sad now. Why? Because I'm comparing. Wow, last time lah, don't have MC lah. I can go to Korea lah. I can go to Japan lah. Now I'm stuck at home. All right? Then you'll feel bad. Even though it's a good memory, Or if you're daydreaming of a good future, it will still make you feel bad. The point is this, okay? As long as you're not focusing on what you're supposed to focus on, you are going to feel bad. Yes.
So that means focus on the present, the power of now.
You see, at the end of the day, it ties up very nicely. Remember what I said about the next best step? This is what we have to train our kids to do, because when we're performing a post-mortem, we're actually forcing them to go and live in the past.
Damn. This is like Inception, you just brought it home at the end. I think we definitely needed this toothbrush story. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Liz,
drop mic.
So to answer your question,
did you guys get that? Yeah.
So
See,
to answer
even
your question,
Gary is saying.
Yep. So to
Yep.
answer the question, if you want to go and help someone who is in trouble, tell them the brushing teeth story, tell them the pimple story. Let them understand that, okay, now it's very easy to go and explain to Muslims, right? Because Muslims pray 5 times a day. And through my friends like Aliza, I gain a very deeper understanding of this beautiful religion called Islam. Do you know why you pray 5 times a day?
Tell us.
Yes, showing
Yes, I
gratitude to your Lord is
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah.
But more
Yeah.
importantly, it is a very brilliant mechanism by your ancestors to go and teach you how to control your thinking. Meditation or zikir. You are supposed, when you're praying, it is a mechanism, it is a practice for you to learn to control your thinking, for you to berzikir. But every day nowadays, people go and when they go and when they are praying, they fikir yang bukan-bukan. Thinking about bills, thinking about what their mother-in-law said to them, thinking about whether my sister hates me. No lah, you're not supposed to lah. You're supposed to use that time to go and sharpen your sharpen your mental discipline.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. Thank you so much, Teacher Kean, for your
Yeah,
great
thank you so
sharing.
much for that amazing,
Yeah.
powerful sharing.
Yeah, so I anyway, I thank you everyone for watching. We are already our time is up.
12 o'clock, spot
Yeah,
on.
12 o'clock, spot on. So hope to see you guys. And before we close out, I just want to say my last thanks to Teacher Ken. Also, my last thanks to Nina Sharikan. Yeah,
Woohoo!
because she's
Tonight's my last night. Boom, mic drop.
Huh? Tonight is really a last night, not the next
Yes.
one?
No,
Wow,
no,
I'm so
no. Tonight.
honored.
Because
Yay.
Liz has to go and do helmet on her own. It's a next level for her.
I can do it.
She'll be fine. Drama.
Drama, tak apalah. But yeah, so thank you again for everyone for watching. Hope to see you guys again next Friday on Mamaliez Behind Closed Door with Mamaliez. Love you guys.
Yeah,
And,
thank you. Good night.
Night.
Okay, see you guys.
Thank you, Teacher Ken.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nina. Thanks, Liz, for having me.